Stongo, Britteny Cuevas, un lagira loja bolgados, momen conchardi. My name is Britteny Cuevas. I'm of the Turtle Clan and my tribal town's conchardi. Today we're going to be doing corn husk dolls and how to make them. We use the hulls from the corn. We have some softky corn here, for example, because I also want to tell you the origin story of our Muskogee corn. Because corn was actually a woman. Stongo, next I'd like to introduce you to my student, Mahaya. Oh, let's do elbows. All right, today I want to teach you a little bit about our softky corn and where it came from. So have you ever tried softky corn?
Once, yeah.
From softky? All right. So our origin story starts when the Muskogee people used to live in camps. There was an old woman that went to the first camp and asked if she could warm herself by the fire. And they said, no, we don't have room here. Maybe the next camp will have more room for you. So she went to the next camp, and again, they said they were too full and sent her to the next camp. So she went from camp to camp until she got to the alligator camp. When she got to the alligator camp, they said, sure, we have plenty of room. You could stay here. So remember, back in the day, corn was an actual woman. So this little old lady stayed at the camp. The next day, the men went to go hunt, and the women would go and dig potatoes during the day. But the kids were around the camp with the old woman, and they were getting hungry, and the woman said, let me make you dinner, some food. So she made this food, and they ate it, and it was delicious. So whenever their parents got home, they were like, try this food, it is so good. This new lady brought this food. And so they tried it, and it was really good. But they were wondering, where's she getting all this food? She didn't leave the camp to get the food, and they'd never seen it before. So the next day, they spied on her. They were watching her, and then all of a sudden, they see her lift her skirt up. And then she started scrubbing her legs really hard, and this corn started falling down. And they're like, ew, she's eating from her legs. And so they told their parents when they got home. They were like, the food that comes from her legs, and we don't want to eat like that. And they said, but it's good. So the woman agreed with them. You probably don't want to eat from me this way. And she said, so you will have to lock me up in a corn crib at night. That night they locked her up, and throughout the night they heard noises like thunder, really loud, and waited till the next day to open the corn crib. So when they got back to the corn crib, they opened it up, and the whole thing was full of not just softky, but other kinds of corns as well, the flint corn and dent corn. But that was our origin of the Muskogee corn, because the corn was actually a woman at one time. No, it's cool. Have you heard that before?
No.
All right. Mahi. All right. So now I want to teach you how to make corn husk dolls. Since we use everything from the corn, we could use the husk too. Okay, so the water, we get the corn husk wet. All we need is the corn husk, water, sinew, and something to cut it with to make our dolls. About this size, we're going to cut these in half and get 4 pieces. I'm going to do that one. Do that. Okay, put them all on top of each other. With the pointy parts up, we scrunch it in, and this is where we begin to tie with our sinew. Tie here, and make it a double knot so it doesn't fall apart. So 1 tie, 2 tie. If you don't tie them, they'll just come loose, and that's it. Okay, so from here, we're gonna trim about, I say, your fingernail length, pretty much. Right there. Okay, so next we turn it upside down and kind of peel it. And you're wrapping it around a node. I call it a node sometimes. And you wrap it around, and what we're doing, we're forming the head of the doll. Okay, then just scrunch it all together. Now what we're doing next is tying a string right here, and that'll form your head. Two knots. Now it looks like a poyovichka. Ooh. Okay, so next we make the arms. These are little arms, and it's separate. Another piece of corn husk. This is a good size. I'm gonna trim. Her arms will probably be about that, so we'll trim here. And we roll it. Oh, she's gonna have long arms. Really long arms. We tie on both sides. Maybe we could trim it. 2 knots. You can get some. The more you use, the thicker the arms will be. Okay. Oops. So now we are going to separate the corn husk doll. Corn husks. There they are. There it is. And we are going to place the arms in the middle. I'm going to trim that off. And we tie right under the arms for the waist. We trim this off and this sinew. Waist. All right, so from here, you either make it a boy or a girl. So if you want legs, you would split the two and make it a boy, and we would tie 2 knots. We could go ahead and do that. We can make it a boy and a girl. So you would tie a knot for the knee and then a knot for the foot. I'm gonna do an example. Knee and foot. The knee and the foot. And next we would just put clothing on the boy. We will use another piece of husk and about an inch. Oh, I need it longer though. About an inch, another inch. Give or take. Okay, so now we're gonna make an X in the front. I hold it with my thumb. Another X. So from here, I fold it over, kind of like a sash, fold it over. And then we have the shirt, and we're gonna tie it again for the waist. Okay, last we're gonna do her skirt. So we get 4 pieces like we did in the beginning. Two more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we are going to lay 2 down. And then we're gonna put our doll, your pointy side, we're gonna put the doll this way. 2 in the back, your doll, and then 2 on front. We'll tie right under her waist. Tie real tight. I'm getting you wet. All right, then just peel down the skirt. All right, so just peel it down again, kind of like a banana. Get your doll. You can add colors by dyeing your husk. You could do Rit dye to Kool-Aid. It'll stick to your corn husk. You can do colors. Tuck all your strings in if they bother you. Or cut them off. So from here we just tie a loose one because it wants to frail out. A loose one to keep it still. Right now she's wet, but when she dries, she'll get hard. So we tie it loose. Next we will cut her skirt even. To where you can even get her to stand up. And then when this dries, you can slide this off and it'll stay the same way you want it. So there's our corn husk lady. So all we needed was water, the material, sinew, and something to cut it with. Stongo! Hey, how you doing? Elbows, how about elbows? Mahaya, thank you for coming today and letting me teach you about corn husk dolls. It wasn't just me, my elders and ancestors gave me this knowledge to pass on, and thank you for that. We'd also like to thank the Muskogee Creek Nation Cultural Center and Archives Department and the Office of Public Relations for allowing us to share with you this virtual video. Mado, thank you.